to Boys and Ghouls Film Review. I'm your host, Sarah Stephenson, and this is my co-host, Mike Stephenson.
Hi guys.
So, what are we doing tonight, Mike?
Well, this is going to be a little bit different. This podcast is partly to do with the movie and partly to do with the person who did the movie. But anyway, irrespective. Before I go right into it, I'm going to say this podcast is sort of a tribute to guys like the guy we're reviewing tonight. There's a lot of independent guys out there doing things on a really, really skinny budget or no budgets at all and trying to make something come to life. This guy, who I'm going to introduce in a moment, I believe has done it exceptionally well. You could say he's the king of the micro budget. You know, he really does a good job. Now, you can't compare this to a big commercial studio job, but what he's doing, with what his resources are, you've got to stand up and applaud this guy for what he's doing. He's made I can't remember, about 16 films so far?
Just roughly.
About 16 films. Now, this guy has been doing it since 2010, so he's doing about one a year, maybe a bit more than one a year, and he's going like a house on fire. He's an actor, he does stage acting, he does film acting, he's a producer, he's a director, he's a screenwriter. Who says you can't do it all, Sarah?
Good point. So, what's the name of this film?
Well, here we go. Now, the name of this production that we're reviewing is Dracula AD 2015. It's a horror film.
It's a tribute movie to
The Hammer.
Hammer horror,
And
Dracula AD 1972, if you watch the movie.
That's what's up, yeah. Now, the point is that we are reviewing this because we like it. And Sarah and I have a similar taste in films.
Exactly.
But anyway, Joyce was produced, directed, written it, he's acted in it, and he's got a reasonably good group of people behind him, both in front of the camera and behind the camera. So, I won't go through everybody in the film, but we have Joshua Kennedy playing Terence Fordyce, who's a bit like a Van Helsing type character. Xander Pretorius plays Count Dracula.
Snap.
Bessie Nellis plays Ingrid Stensgaard. I think how would you put her, like a friend of Dracula Society.
Sinister character, but other than that, Betsy and Xander they both have good stage presence about them.
Yeah, exactly right. Now, there's a girl called Kat Kennedy. See, look at the last name. That's his sister, and she's pretty much grown up with Joshua making movies and stuff. So I think she's been in several of his movies, if not all of them. There's some other people here. I won't go through who they are, but they've got Jeremy Krauser, Hannah Rose Ammon, Cody Alvord, Jake Williams, Madeline Wiley, Claire Daniels, Jonathan Danziger, and Tracy Thomas. So a whole slew of good actors on the way up, I would like to think.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, and it's this film takes place in what's it called?
Pace University.
Pace University.
In New York. It's a real university where I believe Joshua did his studies. And they've been very nice to let him use it on, I think, half a dozen films.
Yeah, half
a dozen films where he's actually used their rooms.
Yeah,
and
his
corridors
last film that he did there was let me see, what's it called? I'll just get it up for you. Now I remember, the Alpha Omega Man, which is a tribute to the Charlton Heston movie Omega Man.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on, little one.
Yes. So the story takes place in the university, and Terence is just come back from a what do they call it? Sabbatical.
A sabbatical. Yeah. He's been away for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Doing something. Yeah.
Yeah. So he just come back and is teaching at the university that he's coming to stay in.
Exactly right.
And his sister is more welcoming and moving the story along as I can. I'll try to make it as brief as possible here for you. Miss Stensgaard, the sinister teacher there, wants to gather some of her students for a seance of sorts.
Yeah, seance.
A creepy seance. In what's the word that she used in the movie?
Oh, I can't remember.
I think it was what's it called? Something about an innocent room.
An innocuous room, I think she called it.
Yeah, innocuous room.
Innocuous. What are you?
Yeah.
Why don't you use ordinary English, guys?
Hey, they were just taking it from the old films, so
Probably.
yes. So they went there, and it gets all creepy and summery, and soon enough, things take shape when someone starts complaining of blood being poured on a victim.
Well, yeah, they had a gobble of blood, which is part of a ritual, and they're going to pour it over this girl, which is, I think it was it Diana?
Yeah, I think it was
Diana. Yeah, Diana. Yeah, so that was, she wanted to be the one, so she got it.
Yeah.
Then she didn't want it.
Yeah, Jennifer turns out she was going to be the one, but
Yeah, little Jennifer.
yeah, this story is very similar to, as I said before, the Hammer version of the movie. And I gotta admit, it has some really good stuff there.
Yeah.
So anyway, things start taking shape when good old Drac wakes from his sleep.
Well, he didn't have an alarm clock, did he? No. He
Yeah.
had a wake-up call.
Yeah. So anyway, he wakes and he kills Diana and starts his vampirish reign over the school of sorts.
Yeah, something.
Yes.
Well, he's hungry. It's been years.
True. Anyway, he's kind of pining after Jennifer, if you can put it that way. And in 2 attempts, he didn't get Jennifer, but then at the 3rd attempt, he was able to get her when she was at least vulnerable at her boyfriend's place.
Exactly.
Yes, which I thought was a really good moment, because I love the moments in this movie where Dracula there's some interesting coloured filters they use in this movie. That's
a bit like the European movies used to do years ago.
a little bit of dark reds and very very tense blues
and greens and they all nice good colour spectrum sort of to help create a mood. Yeah.
Yes, a bit of yellow too, for add variety too. Yes, soon enough, Terence realizes that there's a vampire lurking in the whole schools.
Look.
So he goes and gets a few stakes, holy water, and prepares the school for its, of all the dangers ahead. Of course, some of the students don't believe him, think that it's all a load of cuckoo.
You believe too much of the stuff you write about. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, at certain point, when his sister gets bitten and she gets a transfusion of sorts to make you feel better.
Transfusion.
Yeah, and of course, we then later that night after Miss Ensgard gets staked, we get Dracula starts to prepare his final, vamping on Jennifer, right then?
Something like that,
Yes.
yeah.
So he
Vamping. Good word.
yes, putting the bite on Jennifer. Is that the word for it?
Munchy.
Yeah, well. So anyway, he
You
does.
could have set out for pizza or something if he's really hungry. Honestly.
Yeah, but I gotta admit, I did like that.
Cherry Coke or something.
I did like the moment in the scene where he's just staring. He opens up his shirt and he sticks his finger into his chest and starts bleeding outwards, just like Christopher Lee did in the Dracula Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. And of course, Dracula. Then Terence arrives, and we have this very long chase sequence of them throughout the subway and throughout the streets. And I'm really impressed with how they were able to do that scene without getting in trouble by
I
security.
think they did it late at night because there wasn't a lot of people hanging around. And New York's supposed to be a pretty busy place, so I would think,
Yeah, so anyway, eventually we catch up with Dracula at his digs in a Central Park in a castle of sorts.
Well, an old building which is resembles a castle, yeah.
Yeah.
Not even a castle in New York, I don't think.
Yes. So anyway, Terrence corners Dracula, and just as the sun is hitting the horizon, he opens the window, and Dracula falls down, dust to dust, dead.
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
And all those
If
who
the women don't kill you, the whiskey must. Yeah.
and all those who had been either vamped have turned back to normal.
Yeah, lovely.
And of course, my
Happy,
favorite.
Happy, smiley.
Yeah, my favorite scene was way to the end where you see bits of dust left over from Dracula, and they slightly blow away in the wind very creepily. And all that remains is some of Dracula's clothing and the ring that Dracula wears a lot in this movie.
Yeah, the little family crest one on, that sort of thing.
So, the end.
Well, that was a quick one, wasn't it?
Well, I want to keep it quick, and I want to make sure the listeners out there check it out for themselves and enjoy it.
And now we can talk about the post-mortem part of it behind it.
Yeah, so as I said before just before that, I did like the colors that they used in this movie, like to create atmos and.
I think we see that more in the European films a lot more, don't we? And some of the older movies in England, yeah. But you feel. I mean, I like colour filters sometimes, and I seem to work in this.
Yeah, I do like it. I just wish more films these days would do that sort of thing. Add the atmos instead of just add jump scares to scare the people.
And a bit of CGI thrown in and whatever. I mean, that's the thing about these old movies, and you're obviously well aware of because you did your own recently, which you're still working on at the moment. You got a good storyline. Some of the newer type movies are all about let's run around and have people get killed here and somebody beaten up there and a couple of jump scares like Sarah keeps referring to, and there's not much of a storyline. I mean, when I was growing up, I've watched a lot of movies. I've got a big collection. And even the old horror movies and sci-fis, they didn't just go in, oh, let's have a shootout, or let's kill somebody, or no, there was a drama, there was a story in there. So it was a horror drama or drama horror. It was a sci-fi drama or drama sci-fi. It's not this, oh, there's a monster, let's shoot it for ray gun. Oh, aren't we lucky? No, you look at Steven Spielberg, he makes a good science fiction. George Lucas, he's done the Star Wars trilogy. There's stories in there.
Yeah.
Hidden behind it is the science fiction bit. Even though it's prevalent, it's still hidden behind the storyline.
Yeah.
The storyline is the most important part. And a lot of the newer guys don't get the storyline thing.
Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, Joshua Kennedy was one of the influences behind my feature film I'm working on called The Attack of the Cat People.
Yeah, it's similar sort of like tribute sort of thing to the Hammer movies and the other horror sci-fis back in those days. Yeah, but these guys did a lot of good things, didn't they?
Yeah, another thing about Joshua is he does a lot of theatre dramas as well as movie dramas.
Right,
movie
He's a
dramas.
stage actor, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he produce these stuff on stage?
Yes.
Did he do that 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? Was that a stage one?
I'm not sure, but I
can't
know
remember
he
now,
did Ten Commandments Moses one,
Okay,
which was not too bad, and it resembled the one that Charlton Heston did.
Oh, Chucky baby.
Well, I haven't seen it all because it's not. I haven't seen. There's no footage of it to look at except for a trailer he created.
Oh, good. Got myself with that. Excuse me. It's cough. I know I haven't got, you know what, no, I've got sinus trouble.
And as I said before, he did the Alpha Omega Man.
No, it wasn't the Alpha. It was called the Omega Man, not the Alpha
No,
Omega.
that's what he called it in his
Did
story.
he?
It's
Oh, he
called
changed the name, did he?
the Alpha Omega Man.
Oh, okay.
That was done. Let me see. It was done in year 2017, and that was the last film he did at the actual school.
Okay. Did he go back down to Texas somewhere?
What? Yeah.
He's relocated to Texas, so yeah, he's a bit of a drive.
Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, do you want to rate this movie now? Because I don't have too many details about this film.
I would like to actually go say a few more things before we rate it. I mean, the style of filming It wasn't old style of filming, but it had an old feel to it. What do you think?
Well, it has a nice field.
Yeah,
I mean,
you did your 3-point lighting and stuff to create an old feeling for yours, but he
Yeah.
didn't do that. He did it normal.
true.
If you like you do it nowadays, I think.
Yeah.
But again, the production was reasonably polished for a micro budget. And I'd say
Yeah.
low budget doesn't mean low quality, and he's done pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was interesting that they used a lot of similar dialogue from the 1970 version of Dracula
yeah.
for this one. There were certain
Excuse me.
similar scenes from that movie.
Oh yeah, it is a tribute. So he was sort of paying homage to these, the whiz kids of way back when. Excuse me, these silences.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
there was a few. I think that they used the whole Dracula franchise from the Hammer horror movies. Oh.
Well, they did pick a few things out
Yeah,
of it,
like
but yeah.
the first one, and where it displayed the ending bit where Van Helsing beats Dracula by opening the curtain and letting the sun in and feeding him that way.
That was a dead remake of that. I think pretty close to it. Across the table, grab the curtain, and and Peter Cushing was playing Van Helsing in that movie. I think
Yeah.
Actually, they're my favourite two actors in the Hammer horror.
Yeah.
Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. They always did a good show.
Yeah, and the last one that he did with Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee, there was that scene where we see Peter picking up the ring of Dracula's, and we suspect that maybe he might keep that ring under wraps, so to avoid another.
Well, we don't want anyone else doing it, do we? Kiddies, do not play with any strange rings you find. You never know what you're going to get.
And of course, that 1970s 2 version of Dracula that was a bit of a modern day contemporary version for its time, Dracula, which is where a lot of people spoke in modern their 70s slang words. I remember in the movie.
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, because most of the words are, well, I don't see too many people saying those words anymore. But again, I'm not going to pick at this movie's dialogue. I just think it's a good movie all around.
Well, yes, it is a good movie. Yeah, again, it's a tribute movie, and he has taken some liberty and changed a few things around,
and I think
creative license, as it were.
Yeah, and I think that both two of the characters who were playing the bad guys, Miss Stensgaard and Dracula, they pulled off being really nasty, sinister bad guys.
That guy Xander, whatever his last name is, Xander Pretorius. Now, he really did a reasonably good representation of a Christopher Lee Dracula. I think he did pretty good.
Yeah.
Haven't seen anything from him since, but I don't know what he's doing in the industry at the moment. So
Yeah, I still like the dialogue he portrayed in this movie, and I liked it when he had that stage presence about him. Like Christopher Lee, he had stage presence in Dracula, so this is sort of a similar stage presence.
Well, actually,
Dark
you know where we did the movie here? It's Pace University. Pace University, I believe, is a theatrical college university type thing, where they teach acting as well as filmmaking.
That makes sense.
So I think he got his resources from the people who are studying there. So he might have met a lot of these people actually there as
that would make sense.
fellow students in that Pace University.
That would make sense a little bit, Mike.
Yeah,
very much
so.
so.
Little bits of snippets there, folks. But anyway, look, we will be grading it in a minute. But I was going to go and say a couple of things about Joshua. He made his first home movie, when he's 5 years old.
Ooh, cool.
George Lucas, Steven Spielberg. When did you start? No, and obviously he went to he sought out Pace University because they had everything he wanted. And I think one of his first movies was the octopus one.
Let me see. It's the Attack of the Octopus People.
That was I think his first back in 2010.
That would have been 2010. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's done pretty good for a young man.
And then he did Curse of the Insect Woman that was done in 2011, The Menace with Five Arms, year 2013.
He's been a very busy young fellow. Yeah.
Airline, which is a tribute movie to Airport, if you've seen that movie. This was done in year 2015, and the Alpha Omega Man I told you guys about, that was done in year 2017. And the recent one that just happened just last year is House of the Gorgon.
That's supposed to be a really good movie. We saw it, didn't we?
Yeah, we have. We might review it soon.
Yeah, we might do that. As one of the other ones very shortly in the near future, because from memory he got some really good not retired actors, but actors who had actually been in some of these old horror movies. I won't mention the names, but Janet Munro comes to mind, and a few other people who have been around strutting the stuff in front of the camera way back when.
Yeah, way back when they were doing Hammer films.
Yeah, before Hammer Studios closed down. Actually, I believe they reopened a few years ago.
Yeah,
but
they have.
I haven't seen much of them. Have you seen much of them?
The only things I've seen was let me see, the what's it called, that Woman in Black?
That one with Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
There's that one, and another one I can't really place. But other than that, it's not.
Yeah.
They're quite different from what they were years ago.
But actually, just going back to Hammer. Hammer, as far as I'm aware, used to go on location a lot. They'll go into a museum, or they go into a house or a mansion and do the filming there. Whereas a lot of stuff in America and the big company, big studios, do a lot of soundstage sort of stuff to pretend to be. Well, Joyce was actually going on site to these locations. He's using Pace University, their corridors, their rooms. He's going outside, and other movies he's doing something else. So he's actually using real places. Sometimes he's doing sets, but when he has to. But he does a bit like Hammer used to do in the olden days, using real places, which is a good way to do it. To me, it brings a touch of realism into it. And so he's building a set. So I'm really impressed with what Joshua's done. Now look, I've got a list of a couple of things here. I thought to help Joshua along for people who don't know him too much. I got something out of it. I'll just read it. Okay. Many of Joshua Kennedy's films are available from Alpha Video, Dracula AD, this one, 2015, Airline 79, and the Alpha Omega Man can be seen on his YouTube channel. You can purchase a DVD of the House of the Gorgon through gorgonmovie.com and find out more about Joshua Kennedy's latest project on his Facebook page. So I suggest all of you people trying to get a copy of this, have a look at it, and go on Joshua's Facebook page and subscribe to be a follower, because I think the way he's going, he's going to be doing this for a good many years, and he's going to get,
fingers crossed,
he's going to keep pulling these old ideas out of the box and breathing new life into them. So I can't say too much more. This is going to be a rather short podcast for us, because there's not a lot to say.
And if I continue on, I might spoil it even more by revealing something that might turn out to be worth watching for you guys. Yeah. And trust me, I'm not being nasty or anything, but Dracula AD year 2015 is a pretty awesome movie, and it's one movie you don't want to miss, to be honest.
Well, I enjoyed it. Now, I watch a lot of movies. Like I've said before, I collect movies, and I got thousands, but I really enjoy independent ones, and ones like this, which are really doing it the hard way, I'm really impressed by.
True.
Yeah. It's not like watching an old silent movie. They got limitations. They didn't have sound. They had flashcards. Yeah. So you go and look at an old silent movie and say, well, okay, they had limitations. They had poor equipment. It didn't have any sound, and they still tried to make a good movie. And Josh was doing the same sort of thing. Obviously, you got sound and technology, but you can't spend up too big like the big studios. So good one, Joshua.
Yay.
We hope we hope to see many more good movies from him. Actually, there's 2 movies in production now. I think it's Cowgirls versus the Pterodactyls or something or other, and some other movies working on at the moment. But yeah, they'll be out soon, I hope, and we have a look at those. But maybe
Maybe next year.
they
maybe.
might be later this year, early next year or something, depending how things are going in America at the moment. Things might be slowing down a bit.
Yeah, well, it is.
Yeah.
If you're working with older actors, it's
yeah.
proves difficult to get everyone together.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it. Actually, that's why Joshua appears in a lot of his own movies. You know that? He said, at least if I play the lead role, I can guarantee that I'll be on time, and have all my lines memorised and everything. And I thought, well, that's a good attitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'll always be there.
True.
So, rather funny that.
Yeah.
Read that, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to grade it.
Yes, me too.
Now, I'm going to grade it in its own genre, in its own little box, because it's not your usual commercial movie, and it's not one of the usual independents that have had a bucket load of money to play with. I'm going to give this a really good rate. I'm going to 9.5 because of what he's doing on his micro budget and everything. Anyway, yeah, I think it's fair. What do you reckon?
I think it's fair.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna rate this. Let me see. I think I'm gonna rate it 8.5 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I like the colors and I like the some of the acting and everything, but I always have a soft spot for tribute movies.
Yeah.
And ones that do come radically close to the movies they're trying to.
Well, they don't try to trash it. They try to make their version of it, which is good. Now,
Yeah.
it's not like a parody sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's almost it's their own script
it's
based on the original theme. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So not making fun of the old movie, in which I like.
Quite true.
So anyway, I can't think of anything else to say about it. I mean, if it's short, it doesn't mean we don't not interested. It just means that we've told you everything we can
and
without
I don't want to
boring
reveal
you.
too much stuff
Yeah.
that might turn out to be a spoiler or something.
Well, even a spoil wouldn't matter, but the point
Yeah, well, I
still
know that
remains is
we're all about spoilers, but I just like the idea that you guys check it out. It's worth seeing and worth watching.
Yeah. Now, I can't think of anything else apart from,
Yeah.
again, well done, Joshua, and all you other independents out there. Have a look at what Joshua's doing. It might give you a bit of hope for your own projects.
Or food for thought.
And food for thought, yes, because if Joshua can do it, again, I don't know how much he throws his projects, but there's a lot of volunteer stuff in there, possibly. He makes a movie on a shoestring budget. So I haven't seen his Facebook page. There might be some information on there as well, is there?
Yeah, there is probably
There might be stuff in there. So, yeah, contact him, go on his Facebook page. He'd probably, I don't know, probably more than happy to supply a little bit of information and give a bit of guidance, maybe. He sounds like what Sarah says, he's a nice guy, so hope he is.
Yeah. Moving on and everything. Next month I'm going to start a film, tip vlog called Ask Sarah Stephenson, where I'm going to be answering questions to beginner independent filmmakers. Some questions, just so you guys know.
You've already got a couple of people asking questions, so they thought you'd start doing them.
I mean, if I come off as shy and a little bit withdrawn, it's because I don't do vlogging very often, and the real reason behind my podcasting is instead of doing an actual vlog of movie reviews is because I'm really shy around a camera sometimes, and maybe I could probably, with a little practice, I could probably get over the shyness.
Exactly. Anyway, is that about it?
Yeah, roughly. Thanks for listening to this latest podcast, and I definitely hope that you guys may check out the movie. I'll probably put it at the bottom of this of the page, so you can click on it and review it for yourselves.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, well, if you prefer to check out the movie first and then look at our review last, would be my best bet.
Look at the review and have a look at it and say, yeah, it is really good. I reckon Josh is doing good, and other guys like Joshua. So, yeah.
So,
anyway, let's kill it.
Yeah, you can also check out and review some of the trailers for his other movies he's put together too.
Yeah, he's done about 16 so far, so Yeah, some are available to still see online. Some you'll have to buy, but have a look at the online ones first. And if you like that, go and buy some.
Quite. So thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you guys more next time. See you around.
Bye, guys.